Hey everybody, this is Jason with PTCI and welcome back to our second in our series of live virtual streaming workshops. And want to let you know whether you're watching us on YouTube or on Facebook Live, you can send us questions in. We'd love to answer any of those. We're going to go over some general stuff, but we definitely want to answer any questions that you may have, so be sure to send those in. Now today we're going to start with just this TV that we're using is a Roku TV, which Roku is one of the devices, one of the main devices out there that you can use to get some of these cable replacement apps where you can pick up a bundle of channels and be able to replace your cable or satellite with it and actually save what we figured out is about $1,000, maybe even more like $1,200 a year in savings by switching over to streaming TV. And streaming TV, some of you may already be streaming and just don't realize it. If you have Netflix or if you have Amazon Prime and you use Prime Video, both of those are streaming services. PTCI also live streams a lot of high school sports and some of our other activities in the area. And if you've ever watched any of those, you're streaming TV. It's just watching video, and in many of these options, being able to watch them live over your internet connection. First, I wanted to show you, of course, this Roku TV, that just means that the technology is built into the TV. The software for the Roku to be able to get into these apps is just built into the TV. A Roku Stick actually is a piece that looks like this, okay? And it's on the end of it there, it's got an HDMI plug, okay? The only other parts to it is it does have a plug that fits into the back of this. And then at the other end, it has a USB plug, okay? Now the back of a lot of flat screen TVs have that, or it comes with this attachment that you can put on there and you can plug it into your wall unit as well. So either one of those would work for your Roku stick. Amazon Fire Stick works basically the same as well. It's going to need an HDMI plug, and it's going to need either a USB or a plug-in like that will allow it to plug into the wall. Either way, both of those devices will work very similar. We don't have an Amazon Fire Stick to show you that one, but if you saw the interface on it, it would look very much like the one you're looking at on the screen right now. I do also want to show you the remote. This is a remote for the Roku Stick, and you can see it's very simple. You've got a power button up here, you've got volume and a mute on the side. You also have a back button, and you also have this home button, and then these four arrows, directional arrows, and an OK button in the middle. You've also got a play, pause, a fast forward, a reverse, or going backwards there, and you also have a little star asterisk there. So very few buttons to it, so it's much easier to work. You probably haven't had a remote for cable TV or satellite in 30 years that had that few buttons on it. This is what we call the home screen. If I hit the little button that looks like a house, this is where it takes me to. Now, if you'll notice across the top, these three right here are some of the cable replacement apps that are available, and we're going to show you some information about those. There are some others out there, and we just don't have subscriptions to them, but they are available as well that you can do that. If you are looking for local TV channels, which is the Amarillo stations, the ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox affiliates, then the ones you're going to want to look at are YouTube TV, AT&T TV Live, and then, or now, AT&T TV Now, and then also Hulu with live Hulu with live TV, which we don't have on here. Now, you do see the AT&T TV on here on this Roku. Unfortunately, with Roku Now, you cannot get AT&T TV now. This was grandfathered in because we had this app on here before the end of January of this year, but for whatever reason, AT&T TV Now and Roku have not come to an agreement since then, and so you would have to get an Amazon Fire Stick or some other device to be able to use AT&T TV. Although I will say it does have a few channels that some people in our area specifically have looked for that we haven't been able to find on any of the others. Just to start, I mentioned RFD TV. Living in rural America, that is a very popular channel that's available on AT&T TV, but we haven't found it on any of the others. I know when we just mentioned with local channels, one of the things that was very popular about our TV with PTCI was the availability of Oklahoma City channels. We do not have that available through any of these services. And the reason is it is tied to your local address on this. The only way that we were able to bring you the Oklahoma City channels is because Laverne was in our coverage area, and since Laverne is out of the Oklahoma Panhandle, it is in the Oklahoma City viewing area. So anybody who's watching that's from Laverne, you will be able to get the Oklahoma City channels and not the Amarillo stations, but anybody in the Oklahoma Panhandle or in the Texas Panhandle, you're going to get the Amarillo stations because that is your local affiliate. Like I mentioned, YouTube TV, Hulu with Live TV, and AT&T TV, those are the three you're going to want to look at if local channels are important to you. Some of the other things that are important to people that they may want to look at is all of them actually do have a recording system, what they call cloud DVR. You don't have to have a box for that to record to. What cloud means is basically it's stored on a server somewhere out there, and we'll show you in each of these that we go into how you can see your recorded items. And one thing that's going to be important for you is streams allowed. Now, what they mean by streams allowed is, let's say you had our cable and you had it on two TVs. So you had a box on the one in your den and another one in your living room. And so that would be equal to 2 streams. Well, you're going to have streams with this available to you as well. They all offer different amounts. YouTube TV allows 3. Hulu with Live TV starts with 2, but you can actually pay for any number that you want. Fubo TV allows 3. AT&T TV now allows 2 per account. Sling allows 1 to 4, depending on which service you decide on. And Philo allows 3 streams. So that's what those streams are. They're like your cable boxes, except there is one very positive difference, is these are mobile, okay? You can use it on your TV at home. Like if you decide you're going to purchase YouTube TV here and you pay for that, you can use that on the TV. You can get an app on your phone or on your tablet, or you can even watch it, sign into it on your laptop or computer, and you can watch it from there. So it's something you can take with you wherever you go. So if you've got it says three streams with it, that means you can have 3 live events going on 3 different items at one time. So that's what streams are. Streams are basically your cable boxes that go with your TV. Also, pay-per-view events. That is something that's important to some people. Sling is really the only one out there that has pay-per-view events. And pretty much all of them, for a while there, Sling was really the only one with any kind of parental controls, but they all have some version that we'll show you today as well. And then all but Philo have some sort of Spanish language option as well. First, we'll start out, we'll go into YouTube TV. So I'm just going to take my remote and click the arrow over, and you can see the little outline here on YouTube TV, and then just click OK, and it's going to take us to that. Now with YouTube TV, you're going to get a little over 70 channels, and it's going to be right at $50 a month right now. This is your home page where everything kind of begins. And what it's going to have for you at the top, it says top picks for you. And basically what it does is it kind of bases it off of what you've watched on your TV previously. Okay? Then right below that, if we click down, and I can go to any of these and start playing them right now. If I go down, it's got it broken down into different categories, whether it's movies, sitcoms, drama. It's even got different sports mentioned there, news. So you can click into any of these, and you can, if I go into sitcom here, and it's going to bring up different options, and actually even subgenres there at the top that you can look through. And then it's also got different shows that it picks based on the viewing on this TV. I'll hit the back button to click back to the home page, where this line is resume watching. These are different shows that have been watched part of the way and then switched off onto something else, but you can actually pick up right where it left off. Okay. Then it's just got listed by different categories, where there's shows, different things you can add to your library, sports, family, premium networks. You can purchase premium networks in YouTube TV. They have different add-on packages for that, and a list of movies that are available to you through your subscription. So that is the home page. At any time, you'll notice at the top right here, we've got it on ESPN2 up here. You've seen it playing in the background there. It says Sports Center. If I click up here and then push the OK button, it takes me to that channel immediately. I hit the back button, I'm back at the home page. Wherever I'm at, the back button takes you back to the previous page you were at. Now, if I want to see the guide, I click over here to Live. Now, what you'll see on Live is across the top, you're going to see times like 2 o'clock there, 3 o'clock here, and then I'm going to see the channels down the side over there. So, like a traditional guide, it's going to have that listed. Now, one of the things you'll see different is you'll notice on that left-hand side where the channels are, you're not going to see any numbers associated with the channel, and that's something that's going to be different. You're just going to have the logo over here. You're not going to have channel numbers. But one of the nice things about YouTube TV is you might say, well, then I'm going to have to click all the way through the channels. You can actually go on your phone, on a tablet, or on a laptop, and you can set up the guide any way you want. So you put the channels that you watch the most at the very top, and those that you never watch, you can actually delete them off of your guide. If you'd like to leave them on, you can move them to the bottom, but you can actually set up the guide just the way you want. If I want to move through this guide, it's very easy. I'm just hitting the down button. You'll notice, like right here on the People's Court, showing it started at 2 p.m. and that there's 45 minutes left in this show. Okay. This is also, YouTube TV is the only one of these that has PBS, and you'll notice that there are 2 of them here. It's got the one for the Texas Panhandle, and then right here, the one above it, that is OETA. So this is the only one out of all of them. If PBS is an important one for you, YouTube TV will definitely be one of them that you want to look at. But it's very simple to move through it. Let's say I want to record something later in the day. I just move ahead, and the screen will move with me as well. Let's say I wanted to record first take here at 3 o'clock. I hit the OK button. This little menu comes up, tells me a little bit about it, has the back highlighted. I move up to more info, click OK, and then it's going to bring up the schedule of when these shows are on, and you'll notice right up here it says Add to Library. I simply click up there. You see how the plus sign is highlighted? Hit the button, a little check mark says Show Added to Your Library. We'll record upcoming episodes. So it's that simple to add it. Now I'll hit the back button, and I'm back on the menu where I was before. So it's that simple. I can look days ahead through there if I want. And I hit the back button one more time, and I'm back at the top on the live menu. Now we'll go over to Library, and this is where we're going to find the shows that we have recorded new to our library. You'll notice it says like this Kelly Clarkson show, 5 new episodes this week. Same with the newscast here. But I can go back in, I can go in here. Whoops, I went over before I should have. Let's go back into Library again. Let's say I missed The Price is Right this morning. And I can click in here. And this it shows me it was recorded 4 hours ago. So I can actually go in there and watch that. I'll go ahead and click into you just to show you also how you can fast forward and pause as well. Like we're on a commercial right now. I'll pause it like that. Also, it brings up this menu, notice, or you can click the down. If you like closed caption, here's the closed caption. It gives me the options when I click on that. And I can add closed caption right here. Okay? All right. Now I'll click it to play again. Since it's on a commercial, I can fast forward. And now the show is on. You can see the closed caption was even on there, but it's that easy to watch. You can simply click ahead. It kind of hit the button and it moves 15 seconds ahead. And so you can really kind of control how you do that. You can also do the same thing going backwards as well. But that's how you can get in and watch previous episodes. You'll notice it still plays in the background. I can see when other episodes of this are scheduled to play as well there. This lists the shows by most watched. And then also here, this is the schedule. And you'll see right here, these are shows that are recording right now that are on. Okay? Maybe I've set up a show or a movie to tape. And all of those are that are taping right now. So we've got 4 different items. So you can record more than even your number of streams that you have on at once. That's just which ones you can have on live, but you can record at the same time while you're watching something else. Also, here's shows that are coming up later today that haven't started to record but are set to, even tomorrow and then on, beyond that as well. Okay? It breaks it down in categories by shows and movies that you've recorded as well. And you can set up your favorite sport teams so that you can go back and watch games, but maybe you missed. Let's say you were a Thunder fan or maybe even the Texas Rangers during the baseball season. You know, you could go in there and watch games at any time. And then it also does have a place for events, which ball games fall into events, but also there are certain shows and events like, let's say, the Grammys or something like that, that would fit into the category of events. But that is how the library works. Also on YouTube TV, and we'll show this on all of the services too, they've got this little magnifying glass right here, and you can, that's your search. And you can go down in here and you can type in pretty much anything, like they've got the example action movies. You can put a team name, you can put an actor, an actress, and it's going to populate over here on the right whatever fits into that. If you put the name of a show, if you start to put in, you know, one word of that, it's going to put in that show, and then any other shows that maybe have that word as a part of it as well. So that's your search. And then over here is your profile button. And if we go in here to settings, we do want to show you here a couple of things. In billing, you'll notice it tells us our payment method, and it shows a couple of the numbers and how this account's paid for. But it shows me our upcoming charges. April 28th, it will be charged $53.12. So it's the payment plus a little bit of tax that's on there as well. It does tell you if you want to manage your billing, you go to tv.youtube.com, which of course that is something to keep in mind, because anytime you set up one of these streaming services, they're going to either use a debit card or a credit card. And so what happens with those? About every 5 years, they expire. So you're going to have to make sure that you can go in there and put in another credit card or debit card number when that gets ready to expire. It actually sets it up on the computer where you can go in there. You can actually put a backup in there as well, so you don't have to have any kind of lapse before you know that as well. One of the other nice things about these services is, we do mention that none of them have long-term contracts, okay? You can decide to sign up for YouTube TV, and typically they'll give you a week for a trial, free trial. And then after that, you're just paying for 1 month. All of them are month to month. The longest I've seen for any of them is Sling made an offer where if you paid for 3 months in advance, you got a deeply discounted rate. So I have not seen any kind of contracts that are longer than 3 months. Most of them are just month to month. So even if you do decide you don't want it and you forget about it and get charged for it, it's only going to be a month. You don't have to sign up for 2 years or anything like you see with some of the satellite services out there. Everything is month to month. When we go down here to Live Guide, this is what I was talking about, Live Guide. You have to go on the computer to actually set it up, but that's where you can set up your guide in any way you would like. If we go down here to Filter, this is kind of their version of Parental Controls. And if you do turn the filter on, it allows TVY, TVG, G rating, and PG only, okay? Now those others, shows that had different ratings would still be available, but you'd have to put in a 4-digit code for that to come on. So if you did want to watch a PG-13 show or rated R movie, you'd have to just put in that 4-digit code, but you would still be able to watch those shows on there. But YouTube TV calls it filter, and you can actually filter content to where, so that you can protect younger kids from seeing things you don't want them to see, whatever you decide on that. There's also some other information there, nothing really big to go over, but that's YouTube TV and how it works. I hit the home button, bring us back to our main page here. Before we do move on to the others, I will show you that this app called News On right here. If you still are interested, if you're disappointed that we can't get Oklahoma City stations, I can show you how to get Oklahoma City, some of the news out of there, free of charge. This app, News On, has news from all over the country. Now, it doesn't have every station, but just Oklahoma City, for example, it has 2 of them out of Oklahoma City. The first line that comes up, it's going to have the local channels out of Amarillo, and then also just others nearby, like it's got Lawton here. KOKH, that's Fox 25 out of Oklahoma City, and also KOCO, Channel 5 out of Oklahoma City. I've also got them marked as favorites, and you can mark any others as a favorite if you'd like as well. But if we click on KOCO, this was their 9 a.m. weekday morning broadcast. When you first bring it up, like I said, it is a free app. You're going to see an ad. Typically, it's going to be 15 to 30 seconds long, and that's how they make this free. And then when it comes on, you're going to see if there's live news on at that time, you're going to see the live news. If there's no live news on right then, you will see the most recent newscast that is on. Okay? Now, if you do see like this, you'll see kind of a screensaver of the KOCO logo on there before it goes. That just means they were in their own commercial break during that. So that's just the newscast out of Oklahoma City that you would have seen this morning. Now if I back out of that, it's also got other nearby stations below that. I can also, like right here, we mentioned the most recent newscast. You can see right here on Amarillo Channel 7, ABC 7, they had what was their noon broadcast. So this is their, as they call it, their midday. That's what you're watching. So whatever is the most recent, that's what you're going to see. If we go into favorites, like if I go into KOCO right here, I will show you this also. If you want to see other previous newscasts, this line below has them. So their early morning broadcast is 6 to 7, 5 to 6, 4:30 to 5 broadcasts that they had this morning. Now, if you want a channel in your favorites, you'll see over here, since KOC is already, it says remove from favorites. I've highlighted that. If I click OK, it's no longer a favorite. All I have to do to add it, says add to favorites, go back over, click on it, and now it is a favorite again. It'll also say right here, you can see where it's saying previous newscast, the whole thing doesn't come on. But if it's alive, you're going to see a red box, and it's going to say live in it right there. Now, under the current situation, they do have a tab just for the coronavirus. There's different news from all over the country there on that coronavirus coverage. Also, in this one called All Stations. The first line shows the closest one, Amarillo, Lawton, Oklahoma City. But down here, I can go to any state in the country. Let's say we go to Arkansas. There's a station out of Fort Smith, Fayetteville. There's also a couple out of Little Rock, Pine Bluff, and then also one out of Jonesboro. So I can see the news on any of these stations as well from anywhere in the country. This was their midday broadcast. And that's as you would have seen it on their channel if you lived in their local area as well. But that's News On. And like I said, that app is free. Every state in the union and also the District of Columbia have stations represented on here. They don't have every station, but they do have some from every state. So if you've got family that lives other places and you want to check in on the news, you can see that. You can see other previous broadcasts on there as well, as we showed you. Okay, back to the home. And still don't see any questions on here from anyone. If you do have any questions, like I said, just type it in either on YouTube or our Facebook post, and we'll be happy to try to answer those for you. Okay, now we'll go over to AT&T TV Now. And as we mentioned, unfortunately, for some reason, a deal has not been worked out with AT&T TV Now and Roku, so you would have to get an Amazon Fire Stick or Google Chromecast or Apple TV to watch it. To get to the guide, you hit the down arrow on this one to start out, and I've got it over there to guide now. And just like the others, you're going to see a timeline across the top, and you're going to see your channels listed over here. Now, an added feature that you will see on this one, and also the Sling TV, is these little hearts right here. You can see these that are filled in pink, and then this one that's empty there. That is how you set your favorites. Okay? Let's say this Food Network is no longer one of my favorites. I've clicked over on the heart. I hit the OK button. It's no longer listed as one of my favorites. Now, here's why that's important. If you want to set your channel guide up, we've got it on all right now. You can see it's underlined and a little check mark right there. If I move that down to favorites, now look at my guide over here. It's just the channels with the hearts on it, okay? So I can mark all the channels that I want to watch and just have that in my guide, or I can have all of them. Now, every once in a while, and we've just had one of those with everything that has been going on and people stuck at home, one of the reasons you may want to keep it on all from time to time or check there is sometimes there are free channels that are offered. And just like some of the premium channels like Epix has about 4 movie channels, they were offering free viewing for a week or so. So you could watch some of those movies. Well, if you have it just marked for your favorites, you may not see that every time. But if you get an email from them every once in a while with YouTube TV, that should show you any kind of free channels that they're offering for a while as well. But that's how you can set up your guide as all or favorites. It also has it broken down over here by categories, like on now, whatever movies might be showing, it shows you what channels and whatever movies are showing. We'll go back up here to all and then click back over. It's very easy, just like the other one, to maybe even a little easier to set up. Let's say this Street Outlaws Memphis. I want to record that. I've got the show highlighted. Simply click OK. And it's got Watch Now underlined, because you can actually watch it on demand because that show's not on yet. Or I can move over here to record. Okay? If I click OK right here, recording set. Okay? And it's that easy to cancel it as well. If we'll go back in here, and I'll show you too, you can click over here. We've got it highlighted. Now it's going to record the series, not just that one episode. And this is like any other, like we showed you. You can click ahead. You can click days ahead as well. But it's fairly simple to move through. And that's how your guide works in AT&T TV. If we click the back button, we can go over to Watch Now. And Watch Now is really just a different way to look at the guide. Okay? It shows you, like this line says, what's on now? So it's got the shows listed. Instead of kind of going by a channel guide, it's just got the shows that are listed. A lot of people who maybe watch Netflix enjoy watching it that way. You'll also see on here, it tells you how many minutes are left in each of these shows as well. But I can basically just look through the channels that way as well. Kind of stuff that it thinks that is on right now that I would enjoy watching based on my viewing experience. These are shows that are trending. Right now they must have some sort of an HBO preview available as well. Now usually if it's a premium channel like that, a lot of times they may ask you to sign up for that trial, or it's like a week-long trial. Here's another category for kids, family movies, and then just other different categories that are available. So that's Watch Now is just a different way to look through that, and also a lot of your on-demand content is available there. My Library, these are shows that have been recorded and put on here. If I click on this show, Lego Masters here, it shows the ones that have been recorded, and I can go back and watch my recordings anytime I'd like. You can also set bookmarks for a particular show, but we don't have any of those set in here. Under Discover, this is kind of a mix of your on-demand and your recording here. And there's several different ways that you can find content on here. You can go in here and look by network. It's got premium at the top. But I can go in here, let's say on ABC, there's some shows I like, and it's got them listed by that show. And I can click in here, let's say I like The Good Doctor and I want to watch those episodes. I can go in here and you can see where it's set on season 3, and it's actually got on here, this is season 3, that's episode 20, but I could actually go back all the way to the beginning of this season and start with episode 1. Another thing I can do is you can see I'm highlighted right under the season number. Well, apparently this only has season 3 of it, but a lot of shows you can actually go back and watch previous seasons as well. Just hit the back button a couple of times. I'm back out here again. It's got movies that are available on demand. As we mentioned, these are not movies that you're going to be charged for, but they're shows that that you could take advantage of some of those free premium accounts for. But if I come down here into these categories like featured action, featured drama, featured family shows, family movies, featured comedy, any of these are channels that I'm already paying for, and they've just made these movies available on demand. Now, if you don't know what on demand is, it's basically this. Let's say TBS is going to show, we've got Back to the Future on there. They're going to show Back to the Future at 9 o'clock Thursday night. Well, if you're like me, you're not going to stay awake all the way till 11 when that thing's finally over. So you don't want to watch it then, but you've got time, say, right now. Well, on-demand content, it just means that they say, hey, these are movies that we're going to show on our channel this month, and we're going to make them available for you to watch whenever you want. Now, the one difference that there is between recording and between on demand is typically with on demand, you're going to have to sit through the commercial breaks. It's not going to allow you to fast forward through those. But as we mentioned, those are just movies that are already a part of the TV package you're paying for, and they just make them available for you to watch whenever it's convenient for you. Same thing with TV shows. There's different TV shows out here. It's got them broken down by categories as well here. Home and kitchen, so if you're into either food or fixing up things, different shows there. History and science, docuseries, different things like that, but just broken down by different categories. I will say AT&T TV has these how-to videos on how to use it, but they are different than if you, like if you used an Amazon Fire Stick, it's not going to be the same. I don't know if you can really see it very well, but in this, it shows the remote that comes with the AT&T TV now. You can actually purchase the box with their service, and those how-to videos are built a little more for that. Also, going back to YouTube TV, when you first put that on, it will have a line of videos on there showing you how to use their services that can help you as well. And you can always go to PTCI's YouTube channel. We've got a lot of how-to videos on there that you can look up as well. As same with the other, it's got the little magnifying glass, put in the name of a movie, TV show, keywords, and it's going to populate it here so that you can find what it is that you're looking for. I've got the little gear over here. This is where you can find out information about your account. You can also set up your parental controls, okay? You can block anything rated R, TVMA, or unrated programs. Now, I will tell you this, if you block unrated programs, that might be something very benign as well. Not everything that's unrated is necessarily bad, it just doesn't have any kind of a rating. And it's the same thing here as with the others. You'll have to have like a 4-digit code for that. You've also got your closed captioning here. And you autoplay next episode. That's something with these services you can either set up like when an episode ends of a show that you're watching, you can set it up where it automatically starts the next, or set it up where it doesn't do that. The about it has, just some different legal information there, and then account has just your account information with that. Tells you a little bit about it. AT&T TV, I think, is about $5 more a month than YouTube TV, but their lineups aren't exactly the same. Really, the only way you can know for sure which one is going to fit you best is if you'll go to their website. If you want to look up YouTube TV, just look up Google it, or AT&T TV Now, any of those, they're going to tell you exactly what channels they have and what they don't have, because they're trying to, bring in new customers. And so they want to tell you exactly what they have, and they're all, even though the lineups have a lot of similarities, they all have their differences too. So what might work for somebody else may not work for you. You'll have to decide which one is best for you. Now, before we move to Sling, we do want to show you another, if you did decide to go with Roku, and really with any of these services, there's a lot of free content available. With Roku, we like to show that there is the Roku Channel. It comes free with it. And it's got, different movies and TV show series that are available on here. And it changes pretty much every month. Some stuff hangs around for 2 or 3 months or something like that, but it is something that changes every month. You could watch something and then want to go back and watch it the next month, and there is a possibility that it is gone. But you're going to see, this was right here, this is the concert that was on TV last night on a bunch of channels. They also do, like right here, this is an HBO movie that they've got, 7-day free trial available on here as well. They've got categories like kids and family, where you can watch different TV shows, and then also movies that fit into that. And then, of course, with everything going on, you can see living room learning. It's got other where kids can learn while they're being taught at home right now. So just all kinds of information, TV shows. There's also different news programming on here, some of it live. You can see on there, it's got highlighted Newsmax TV, which is more of a conservative news organization. USA Today, I believe ABC, their national news feed is here. It is. But several different news organizations on there as well. And once again, all this stuff on the Roku channel is free. They do have a lot of free trials here, 30-day trials for a bunch of these that you could sign up for. Now, you're going to want to mark on your calendar when that ends, so that if you don't want it, you can come back and make sure to cancel it in time. When there are sports going on in our world, there's even some sports on here. Weather Nation, you can click on here and you can see not the Weather Channel, but you can see weather that's going on here locally, and then also around the country and world. And once again, Roku Channel, everything on there is free. Now, going over to Sling TV. Now, Sling, it has two different services right now, one called Orange and one that's called Blue. And Orange has just one stream with it, and it's about $25 a month. But like I said, it doesn't have any local channels, but if you only have one TV, or if you're a single person that just lives on your own, it may be the right one for you, because like I said, it only has one stream to it. Now, Blue has about 4, so you can get others as well. When Sling comes up, it comes up with My TV. The first line just shows the channels that are typically watched on this. On your TV, it'll show those and what's on right now. It also shows recordings on this line. I can go right here and it says View All Recordings, and it's got everything listed that has been set. And you can see up at the top, I can set this by alphabetical, last recorded, or what hasn't been watched yet, unwatched. Okay. Continue watching, like we saw with YouTube TV, how you can stop a show and then go back to it. So you can go back and watch. You'll notice right here that these shows are actually recording right now. The little red dot means that it is recording right now. It's got my favorites listed, trending live, and then several other categories below as well. Now if I go back to the top, on now, it's got it broken down by categories: news, sports, kids, TV show series, movies, and then at the bottom just everything that's on right now. So it's kind of a different way to look at your guide. And then if you go over here to guide, you're going to see the traditional guide. Okay? Once again, time across the top, channels down the side, and if you'll look at this little blue line right now where it says on now, this is showing you how far into the show that it is. So, you know, you're not looking at the time and you turn on your TV and it's 2 minutes till the end of the hour. You know, you may be looking over here at what's on, but that little blue line will tell you that, because it'll be about right here, that, oh, I really need to be looking over here because that show's about to end. Once again with Sling, just like with AT&T TV, it's got the little hearts over here where I can set up my favorite channels, or I can set up my guide where it just has my favorites as a part of it. If I click over here where it says all channels, if I go to my channels, click back out, and it's just got those listed, okay? You can also go by categories. It's got entertainment, news, premium channels, sports, and others as well. If I want to record something again, I can simply go out here, Fox Football Now, I'll record that. All I have to do is record is highlighted there because it's in blue. And it's got new episodes, all episodes, or this episode only I can record. I'm going to say this episode only, so it will record that specific one at 10 p.m. And that's how easy it is to set a recording. You can see here, it's got the little circle here, scheduled to record. And of course, when that time comes, if I turn that on at 10 o'clock tonight, it'll show that on the guide with a little red dot that it's recording at that time. Now, I can cancel the recording by simply going in here and hitting the OK button again. And now it has been taken off of my recording list. You can see now as we come back, you don't see the little scheduled to record with the little circle there. Also, if I want, that's the grid way. If I look through by channel, okay, it'll break it down where I can click down on a particular channel. And I can see, like right now in FX, it's showing the movie Noah's on, and then showing the rest of the lineup today and how it's coming up in order. Also shows what movies and TV shows are available on demand from FX. So if there's a particular show that I like, I can go to it this way as well. It has a sports category here at the top. Of course, not a very big category right now, but different. It would have it broken down by sports and things like that, sport movies, basketball, wrestling, football, but whatever categories it sees that you watch, it's going to put those towards the top. On-demand content. You'll notice the top line, last night's new episodes. So shows that were on just last night. Those episodes available to get to quickly. And then it's just got different categories. This one, feel-good favorites. Social distancing. Of course, that's topical for what we're going through right now. Hit movies, family movies, and just different categories like that. One for kids, reality TV shows, stand-up comedy, home and travel. So on demand, as we mentioned, that content is content you're already paying for. It's not going to cost you anything extra. Those are shows that you're already paying for, but they simply are allowing you to watch them now instead of when they're scheduled to be on TV. And as we mentioned, you're going to have to sit through the commercials most of the time when you watch on demand, but you can watch it at your leisure instead of waiting till it's on. And if you don't want to watch the commercials, you can still always record it and go back and watch at a later time too. Now, we mentioned that Sling had some of the rental, one of the few for that. This top line, they've got a bunch of movies that are out, like this Trolls World Tour. They went ahead, obviously with so many theaters shut down, they've made this premiere movie available where you can rent it there. Also, you'll see when there are like big time boxing matches, if you're into that, or professional wrestling, where they have WrestleMania or something like that, you can actually rent those events on here as well. So there's movies and sporting events that are pay-per-view. You can rent a lot of those right here as well. It's got the magnifying glass, so you can search for shows, movies, channels, an actor, an actress, and things like that. So you can search for just about anything right here. And then over here on the gear, we mentioned the parental controls you can set. Now this one's a little more user-friendly. It allows you to set them however you like. Like right here, we've got it set for to lock anything that's unrated, not rated, R, NC-17, TVMA, and then also we mentioned like the renting, even from making purchases. So somebody cannot just accidentally rent a movie that way. They have to put in that 4-digit code that you set up. So as long as you keep that to yourself, nobody should be able to get in there and rent movies or anything that way. There's also information on closed captioning and your DVR here as well. But that's how Sling TV works. We do showing you a couple of extra things. And like we said, if you do have any questions, please type them in to our YouTube feed or to our Facebook feed. We'll be happy to answer any of those questions. I will show you too, down here, if you're a big sports fan, there's a service that ESPN has you may be interested in called Espn Plus. Now that's kind of a big deal in our part of the country because if you're a Big 12 fan, the Big 12 conference actually signed an agreement with ESPN Plus, which ESPN Plus is a streaming service only, okay? You can't get it as an add-on to a satellite service. You can't get it as an add-on to a cable service. It is only available through their streaming service, okay? And if we go up here to ESPN Plus, you'll see an ad for it here up at the top. It's $4.99 per month. Now, what you get for that is they do have some exclusive content on there. Peyton Manning's had a show on there where he's gone over, called Peyton's Place, with the 100th anniversary of the NFL. And he's gone around exploring some of the history of the NFL, talking to different people. There are all of the 30 for 30 documentaries are available here. There's also, as we mentioned, the Big 12. Of course, not anything going on with that right now, but the University of Texas has the Longhorn Network, and the University of Oklahoma has a streaming agreement with Fox Sports. But all 8 of the other teams in the conference, their extra content, they're going to have one football game a year that's going to be on ESPN Plus. And last year, Kansas State and Oklahoma State, I think their football game was on here. Also, a lot of the non-conference basketball games, even some of the conference games. And then a lot of the minor sports, whether it's softball, baseball, volleyball, things like that, they're going to be available on ESPN Plus, and that's it. Also, the UFC, ESPN Plus is their exclusive provider. So you've got a lot of content right here on some of their old pay-per-views. They also have a lot of TV shows that are UFC related that are on this. And then you also have to have this service to have the UFC major pay-per-view events. To purchase those, you have to be on ESPN Plus. So there's all kinds of great content here. Like I said, if you're a Big 12 fan, you may be or a fan of a particular team like Texas Tech or Oklahoma State, Iowa State, West Virginia, this may be a subscription you want to add. Also, I will tell you on ESPN, you can see up there at the top, we've got it tied in with our YouTube TV account. So I can actually go in here and I can watch the same content that's available on my cable channels that I'm paying for. I can watch them on here. Now, where I found that helpful myself is, let's say I'm watching a football game on ABC, which is under the same umbrella as ESPN. They're both under the Disney umbrella. I can go here and I can watch actually the game that's on ABC or on ESPN, but like on ABC, you'll have local channels that sometimes preempt a game with a major event that's going on, and if you just rather watch the ball game, you can actually go to this to find it instead. But you can see like this is ESPN, ESPN News, ESPN 3 there, and the SEC network. But whatever channels that you're paying for in your cable provider or cable replacement app, you can actually go into the app and find those channels as well. Also, that may be important for this to have this Fox Sports app. If you're a college football fan or pro football fan, you've got the NFL on Fox. And if you notice, I go up here to the top to TV schedule, and it'll show all the channels that we've got that are a part of it. It's got even the local Fox affiliate, Fox 14. If there's an NFL game or a college football game on, you're going to be able to click on here and show that. Now, notice it shows regular programming will resume at 7, so you can't really turn it on for syndicated shows in the afternoon on Fox. But like we said, if a game is being preempted or you've got your big weather map over here and you're not really concerned about that, you want to just watch the ball game, you can go here and you're not going to have that. But it's also got your FS1, FS2, Big Ten Network channels all on there because they're a part of the package that the cable setup that we've got set in here, I think with YouTube TV as well. So those may be two apps that you want to make sure that you have as a part of that. Also, I mentioned like University of Oklahoma. If you're a cable provider or a satellite provider, you can put their information in here, and just like I was talking about, extra content, like right here, they've got the, what does it say, the OU Crimson Classics, the 1956 alumni football game. They're actually showing that on there too. Texas Rangers retirement ceremony, but these are more the regional, like Fox Sports Southwest and everything. Of course, they've been in some major fights over who's paying for their content and who's not right now. So that may not be available now, but it may be available later with a lot of that. So those are some extras that you may want to check into. I also have on here, just sticking with sports, NBC Sports, the NBC Sunday Night Sports. A lot of times I'll watch it on here instead of in the app, just because I still have to show that I have that subscription to it, but I like it without the weather map on there, and that's the way I get it when I look on there. You can use, if you get one of these services, and maybe you've been checking through your TV to use Netflix or Vudu or Prime Video, you can actually set them up on your Roku channel on your Roku TV to where you don't have to go to a separate thing to get to those. These apps are interchangeable. You can remove them or add. I'll show you how to add. If we go down here to searching channels here, and let's say I go over here, I see one of them that is featured that is a lot of people have started to pick up on is this one, Friendly. Friendly is live TV, and it's got the Hallmark Channel Plus, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, and Hallmark Drama. It's got the INSP channel, Up TV, the Game Show Network, the Weather Channel, and an Outdoor channel as well. And if I click on that, it's $5.99 a month, okay? Now, I can add that to my channel list. That doesn't mean that I'm actually paying for it. I'd still have to go in the app and set that up. Now, if we go back to my home screen, at the bottom, you'll see Friendly there now. Okay, well, if I've chosen that as my chosen TV service that I want to use, I'm going to hit the little button on my remote that looks like a star. We always called it a star on an old TV, on an old telephone, or you call it an asterisk a lot of times too. If I hit that button, it brings up this little menu. And I'm going to go up here to Move Channel, hit OK, and you'll see the little arrow right here pointing up. If I click up and over, now you can see there's arrows pointing every direction. If this is the one I watch the most, I can actually move it all the way to the very top to the front, where I put it where I want, and I can click OK. And then when I hit my home button, see where it stays right there, okay? So I've got it set now there. Well, let's say I had that for a month and I decided, well, I don't like that. I'm not going to use that. So I hit the star button after I've highlighted it again. I can go to Remove Channel. Are you sure you want to remove Friendly TV? It's got highlighted on Cancel, so I have to move it up to Remove. But then I hit OK, and you can see it's gone, okay? So it's that easy to add a channel and to take one off. You can also go down here to Streaming Channels, and then you can go down here to Search. If somebody tells you about a particular one or anything like that, if there's different categories that you like, if you're a hunting and fishing person, I can put in outdoors right here. It'll start popular there. Look, I just put the O and the U in there, and there's Outdoor Adventure Channel, Outlaw Westerns, Outdoor Action TV, and it gives me a little synopsis of what it is over there on the side. Outdoor Adventure Network, Outdoor Cooking Channel. So there's all kinds of different channels that fit different categories, and most of these are free. And like I said, even if they're not, they're ones that you can go into, and it's not going to just automatically charge you. You're going to have to go in and set it up before it's going to charge you anyway. And all of them are month to month. So if you do pick one that does cost you and you want to try it out, it's easy to change as well. One of the nice things too we want to show you with either a phone or a tablet is you can use them as your remote. Let's say I've got this tablet right here and we've got a Roku remote here, okay? You can see, and I can, if I move back now, I can move it around using this device as well, okay? You can click it over and down and around, hit back to the home button. So you can use a tablet for that or your phone. So if you misplace your remote, you can always go back and just use your tablet or your phone as long as you've hooked it up. You just download the Roku remote. Amazon Fire Stick has the same thing. You just get the app for it. Apple TV actually comes on your iPhone. And And then also, same thing with Google Chromecast as well. So you can make sure that you do that. If you are new to this, some of the things you are going to have to make sure of is when you are streaming TV, you do have to have a little bit higher internet connection. You're going to want a bare minimum of 20, okay? 20 meg internet is the least. And if you don't know what you have, feel free to call in, talk to one of our customer service representatives. They can look at your account and tell you exactly what you're paying for right now and what is available to you where you live. Also, some of the services that PTCI does offer, even though you can't buy these cable replacement apps from us, we can help you with the service. One of them that you may want to look at is Streaming Care. And what Streaming Care is if you sign up for it, it's $3.50 a month. And if you call in and sign up for it, then you can ask for them to set a time. Say, I'd like to set a time for them to come out and help to set up my streaming services. And one of our guys can come out and help you get set up on whichever of these services that you've decided you want. Now, you will have to either buy a Roku TV, a Roku Stick, Amazon Fire Stick, Google Chromecast, or an Apple TV. You'll have to have those purchased and at your house. We'll tell you this, if you've got 2 or 3 TVs in your house, you're going to have to buy one of those for each of those TVs. Now, that's a one-time purchase. It's not a monthly bill for that, but you're going to have that at your house. And then also have an idea what you want to watch. And if you've already picked out the service that you want, they can help you get it set up. Now, after that, we have a phone number available, and if you have any problems, as long as you stay with Streaming Care, and you do have to sign up for a year when you do that, but if you do sign up for it, you can call into that number and they'll try to fix it over the phone. They'll try to help walk you through the problem. But if they are unable to walk you through the problem, then one of our guys can come out and help fix that for you. So, and I've had a Roku Stick where, a couple years down the road, I had a problem. So it's well worth it. Compared to this, if you decided not to sign up for it, we're talking about $43.50 in a year. But if you decided not to sign up for it, and then you call in and said, I need somebody to come out here and help me with this, I can't get it fixed, Bob Squad's really the only one that can come out and do that, and that's $100 an hour from the moment they turn the key in the vehicle here at our offices. So it's going to cost you more to do that than it would for this. Really, 2 years of this will be less than one Bob Squad visit. So it's definitely worth the purchase. Also, one of the main services that we provide is whole home Wi-Fi. And what whole home Wi-Fi is your wireless internet. You're going to have for this a wireless internet connection. I showed you the Roku Stick there. It doesn't have a plug-in that goes into the back of your computer. Your TV doesn't either. It's going to use a wireless internet connection. You're going to have Wi-Fi for that. Well, if you sign up for whole home Wi-Fi, we're going to provide a top-notch router for that. We're also going to set it up in your home. Make sure that you've got a good connection all through your house. We're going to put that in a centrally located position to where you get a good connection throughout your house. And if for some reason we need to add on to that, we've got Wi-Fi extenders available for a little bit more as well. Now that service is $10 a month, and here's part of the great part about this. A lot of people don't realize they may go out and hook up a Wi-Fi router, but they don't realize that you have to update the firmware on that on a regular basis. Because when you're talking about a router, it is basically a small computer that does has a specific job. And so it has firmware that needs to be updated for two reasons. First, just to keep the road nice and smooth. You know, you have a lot of internet traffic over your road, just like your road, just like the roads we have in our town or out in the country. They have to be smoothed over from every once in a while so they remain drivable. Well, the same thing happens with your internet connection. Also, the other thing it does is we can update that remotely because it's over our internet connection. Is it updates the firmware, and what that does is that keeps you safe. Like we said, it's like a computer as well that just has a specific duty. It can be hacked, and that router is what everything that you're using the internet for is hooked to in your house. So you definitely want that running safe. So let us take care of that. If something goes wrong with it, then it's our job to replace it. And while you're considering that, you may want to even take a step up to Whole Home Wi-Fi Plus. Now what that is you're going to get the same thing we just mentioned with the router, but you're also going to get 24/7, 365-day US-based tech support. You're going to get Wi-Fi support with an assessment app. You're going to get setup, support, troubleshooting, and more. And it also includes Protection Plus Security Suite on 4 computers and or mobile devices. And the other thing that it does too is it has Password Genie as well. So if you have trouble remembering your passwords, it actually has a safe place to place those to help you out as well. And Whole Home Wi-Fi is right at $10 a month. Whole Home Wi-Fi Plus is right at $17 a month. Streaming Care, $3.50 a month. Those are all services that you may want to consider. Even if you took Streaming Care and the Whole Home Wi-Fi Plus, we're talking about an extra $20 a month to make sure that your connection is very safe and that it runs very smooth, and that if you have any problems, that we will personally help take care of it. Also, if you're not sure what speed that you need, if you go to PTCI.net, our website, we've got our banners towards the top, and just past that, you see a little area where it's got a little rocket there. And it has Internet Calculator, what speed you need. And I'll try to bring this over so you can see it, hopefully. But this is actually just 3 questions. Okay, that's what it should look like. And if you hit this little blue part, it says, let's get started. If you go there, it's got 3 questions, multiple answer. Okay? And it's going to take you maybe 5 minutes at the most. And it's going to tell you what speed will work best for how many devices you have in your home, because a lot of people don't know that they're maybe using more devices than they realized. But your home security systems, those are using Wi-Fi. You see these Ring doorbells where you can look on your phone and see who's at your front door or even talk to them. That is using your internet access. And there's just a lot more items in our home. There's Nest thermostats as well. You can, if you're out on a trip and you want to get your house nice and cozy 2 hours before you get home, you can change your thermostat from your phone. Well, that's using an internet connection to do that. So a lot more devices than we realize. I know farmers that use their phone for their center pivots. To do that. All of that stuff takes internet access, okay? Whether it's Wi-Fi or using cellular, it's all using some sort of access that way. Well, this can tell you exactly, and I will tell you, we feel pretty confident that it's pretty accurate, because our department went over it when it first came, and we actually had them lower those expectations on that to where we're not getting people way more internet speed than they need to be paying for. So go and take that easy quiz and you can find out what speed might be right for you. Because the internet's kind of like this at your house. How much do you need? It depends on how much traffic you have on it. You drive through Main Street here in Guyman, and for the most part, the lanes and the parking that we have are fine for our town. But you stick that same street in the middle of Dallas, and that's not going to work because they've just got a lot more traffic because there's just a whole lot more people. So that's how you see it with your internet. And like I said, just call into one of our customer service representatives. They can look up your account and tell you exactly what speed you're paying for and what speed. They can help you out with finding the speed that might work for you. A couple of websites you may want to look at if you're trying to choose a different streaming service is you may want to look up thestreamable.com and then also suppose.tv. Both of those, if you put in the channels that you like or the shows that you like, it can kind of tell you some different package options. And let's say you listed 15 channels, it also give you some options where maybe it has one that says, hey, 14 out of those 15 I can get you for $20 cheaper, because maybe that one channel fits in a higher tier, just like our cable right now has 3 tiers. This has tiers as well. So you may have to make the decision, well, is that one channel worth it for that channel and the other extra channels it comes for $20 a month? Or you may want to decide to, just go ahead and take that lower one. So both of those are important websites that you may want to check out. And doesn't look like we've got any questions out there. If you do have any questions, like we said, just type them in, either on our Facebook page, underneath that live stream post, or on our YouTube channel, either one of those. Well, it doesn't look like we've got any more questions on that. And I think we've just about covered it all. PTCI, even though we're getting out of the TV business, remember, June 30th, 2020, this year, we are shutting off our TV and never to turn it on again. We are here to help. We're doing these streaming workshops to try to help you. If you know of somebody who wanted to see this and they missed it, we will be doing another one in 2 weeks. Also, if you just go to our YouTube channel, this one and the previous one are archived there, so they can go back and watch those. We've also got some short videos on kind of the how-to with a lot of this. So if you do have any questions, you can do that. You can also call in to our office, ask for Jason, and I'll be glad, if I'm available, I'll be glad to help you out and try to answer your questions as well. Well, we're trying to help you make sure you've got, with PTCI's fiber optic internet connection, you're getting a quality connection. We're also trying to help you in this transition with our streaming care. We give you kind of a personal touch. And then also with our whole home Wi-Fi and whole home Wi-Fi Plus, we're trying to help keep you protected in the shark-infested waters that are the internet. Well, we thank you for those of you who joined us for this virtual streaming workshop. We hope it was a help. Like we said, if you need any help, get a hold of us and we'll do our best to help you out. Thanks again, and good day.